Okay guys, today I'm back for another video, and this is going to be a video I've been meaning to do for so long now, but I've just never got around to doing it until now, and it's the answers to my Q&A. This is, I done the announcement for this Q&A a bunch of months ago, and people asked me questions, so I'm just getting around to it now to give the answers to those questions. So first off, I want to thank everyone who did actually leave me a question. I really appreciate that you took the time to leave me a question, and the links to your channels will be in the description below. So yeah, once again, thanks for leaving me questions. So I've got the iPad here, and I'm just going to read the questions. So starting off with Eclipse Sonic, and he has two questions for me. And the two questions are, well, first off we have, what are some films you like but everyone hates? Now this is kind of a difficult question to answer. It's a good question, but difficult one to answer, and I would say, not that necessarily people did hate this film. I'm sure some people did, like any other movie, but I'm sure most people liked the movie, but I know a couple of people, a good amount of people didn't like it. But I personally really liked it, and it was a quite recent film. It's the 2014 Godzilla film, and a lot of people didn't like the fact that it took so long to get to the big fight. That wasn't, at least a couple of fights. I liked the idea that there was a big build up and it had one big fight at the end, and it was awesome, awesome fight. And but a lot of people wanted maybe a couple, like Pacific Rim, which is another really good movie. Maybe a couple of fights throughout the film, but I think Pacific Rim and Godzilla are quite very different movies, although very similar. And I just think Godzilla worked well with that whole one slow build up, and then a big payoff at the end. Obviously, we're getting a sequel, and that's been confirmed now. So hopefully, I would actually kind of like to see, now that we've actually had that first Godzilla film, we've had that first taste of Godzilla. Now we can have maybe like 3 fights in the movie, maybe 4, something like that. One at the beginning, one in the middle, one at the end, or something like that. But maybe in the sequel, I would like to see more fights in the sequel. But I liked in the first movie we had one big fight, slow build up. I would say though that maybe the film could have been a bit shorter, because there was a part at the beginning of the third act that was kind of slow and boring, and it just kind of made me sit there and think, can I just see Godzilla fight something now? But yeah, overall I really liked the movie, and also a lot of people didn't like Aaron Taylor-Johnson in the film. It didn't really bother me. I do agree though that they should have had more of a focus on Bryan Cranston though, but yeah. And then he also asks, what are some films you hate but everyone loves? And again, I don't necessarily hate this film, and not necessarily a lot of people love it. Obviously, I'm sure some people do love this film, but it's not necessarily, I would say, a universally loved film. But it's Black Hawk Down. I just didn't like it all that much. I have it on Blu-ray. I just didn't like it all that much. Didn't hate it, but maybe a second watch will, bring me around to it. Maybe it was just the mood I was in that day. I don't know, but I just didn't like it all that much, which is unusual because I tend to like movies that most people love. I don't know, but Black Hawk Down just wasn't one of them. So thank you for the questions. And next person is Jacinto Suarez. I hope that's how you pronounce your name. I apologise if that's wrong, but yeah, it's a pretty tough first question. What are your top 100 films of all time? Now, I can't give you like an exact list of my top 100 favourite films. I'm sure some people can, which is awesome, but I have a Flickchart account. I've brought it up just here. I've got my Flickchart account up here, and I'll just read through some of my favourite films according to my Flickchart account. So Stand By Me is my favourite film of all time, but I also love Jaws, Toy Story trilogy, Beauty and the Beast, Breakfast Club, Forrest Gump, Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back, Lord of the Rings trilogy, in fact, the entire original Star Wars trilogy, Finding Nemo, Alien, Shawshank Redemption, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Predator, American History X, E.T., The Incredibles, Castaway. Maybe give you a bunch more here, if it'll load. Good Will Hunting, Seven, Tarzan, Ghostbusters, American Beauty. Have I said the Lord of the Rings trilogy? The Green Mile, Big, Up, Primal Fear, Jurassic Park, The Evil Dead. I've said Return of the Jedi. I've said the original Star Wars trilogy. Fight Club, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, 500 Days of Summer, Groundhog Day, Halloween the original, Avatar, Enter the Dragon, Die Hard, Monsters Inc., Rocky, Back to the Future, The Lion King, The Silence of the Lambs, Donnie Darko, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, in fact the entire original Indiana Jones trilogy, the original Karate Kid, both versions of King Kong, Terminator 1 and 2, Alien, Gremlins, Fugitive, Signs, Beverly Hills Cop, and I'll maybe list a couple more here, and then I'll leave it at that. Speed, Dark Knight, Titanic, Blade Runner, The Goonies, Warrior, School of Rock, Hot Fuzz, Shaun of the Dead, Sixth Sense, The Iron Giant, Aladdin, and Psycho, the original with Alfred Hitchcock version. So that's just a bunch there, and I don't even think I listed 100, but yeah, so there you go. And then he also says top 10 films of every year. Well, it's considering films have been going on, maybe you worded the question wrong, but considering films have been going since the late 1800s, I haven't seen every film. I'm sure I haven't even seen a film from the 1800s or even the early 1900s. So I can't say top 10 films of every year. But maybe you worded the question wrong. Maybe it was just the way I was reading it. I don't know. And he also asked, do you want to do a new 24-hour movie marathon? I was going to do it, but I just never found the time to do it, especially because I was running about exam time. I just never found the time to do it, but now it's the summer holidays, I have time to do it. But I don't know if people are interested in me seeing me do it, so if you're interested, leave in the comments below and I'll be sure to do it because I have time now. But if you're not interested, fair enough, I won't do it, but maybe I will do it. Maybe I'll do it, I don't know, we'll see. But if you're interested, let me know. And then he also asked, what are your top Scorsese films? I've only seen 3. I've only seen 3. I have a bunch, but I've still to watch them. But I've seen Casino, Wolf of Wall Street, and Raging Bull. I really like all of those movies, but yeah. Callum Flynn asks, excuse me. Callum Flynn asks, have you ever cried at a film? And also, thank you to Jacinto, if that's how you pronounce your name, for the questions. But Callum Flynn asks, have you ever cried at a film? And if yes, what was it? I've never cried at a film, but I've came close. Toy Story 3 made me want to cry. It was really tough not to cry, but somehow pulled it off. My eyes watered a bit though. Up was kind of sad. Just wasn't expecting to be so moved at the start of Up. Got a bad cough. What else is sad? Forrest Gump is really sad. So yeah. Other interests except film. I love pro wrestling, I love comic books. Kind of into video games. I wouldn't say I'm a big gamer, but that's another question down the line. He also asked, what's your favourite director? Steven Spielberg, probably. He's my favourite director. He's just directed some of most of my favourite movies. But I also love Christopher Nolan. He's in my opinion, to make a bad movie. Edgar Wright's awesome, so is Joss Whedon. And what's the most overrated film? That's a really hard question. It's really difficult to think of something off the top of my head. Maybe The Dark Knight, but even then, that's a really good movie. That's a really good movie, and I think I wouldn't say it's overrated. Just maybe just because it's not one of my top 10. I know a lot of people have it in their top 10. I wouldn't have it in my top 10. It's in my top 100, definitely top 50 probably, but maybe even then, that's probably not even overrated. I still really like The Dark Knight. It's a really good movie, but maybe The Dark Knight, I don't know. And then we have Taylor Does Film, and he asks, and also I've just found out that Taylor Does Film is Kermit Creation. I'm sorry I didn't know that. I'm going to sub to your other channel. And also I had no idea that you loved wrestling. I saw your WrestleMania 30 videos. So that's kind of cool. I didn't know that, but I'll sub to your other channel, Taylor Does Film now. If you had to pick one of your least favourite films of 2013 to remake, what would it be? I tried to stay away from a lot of movies I didn't like or didn't look good or for what were apparently terrible, but I did see After Earth and that was an awful movie, but actually that could have been a good movie. Just terrible performance. Jaden Smith was bad. Is it just me or he got worse as an actor? Because he was actually pretty decent when he was like 6 in The Pursuit of Happiness, and he was okay in The Karate Kid as well, but now as he's gotten older he's gotten worse. I don't know what's happened, but that could have been a good movie. Could be handled a bit better. better acting, better pieces here and there, better dialogue. Just, it was bad, but it could have been good if maybe in a different direction. So thanks for your question. Blu-ray Billy asks, what's your favourite film of 2014 so far? X-Men Days of Future Past. Awesome movie. I was actually going to do a movie review for that, but I never got around to it. Awesome movie. Amazing. Like, one of my favourite comic book movies now. And I know a lot of people have been raving about this movie, but it's awesome. And it's by far one of the best movies I've seen in a long time. Definitely of this year. Just tremendous film. Just how crazy how well they handled such a property. It's just amazing. Do you like Disney's Frozen? Yeah, I did. It was a really good movie. I really enjoyed it. Have you seen the Lego Movie? And if so, what did you think of it? I did see the Lego Movie. In fact, I've seen quite a lot of movies this year. And I'm going to see 3 more, I think, at the weekend. Sometimes me and my friends like to go, because they're big movie fans as well, and we sometimes go to the cinema and we see like 3 movies, sometimes 2, but I've been seeing a lot of movies this year, trying to not miss out on anything, unlike last year, because I missed out a bunch of stuff and I had to catch up with them on Blu-ray. But I'm going to try not do that this year. And I'm going to, at the end of the year, I'm going to do a top 10 favourite movies of the year. So, but yeah, I have seen the Lego Movie and I really liked it. It was a pretty awesome movie, and I know both my friends really loved it. In fact, 3 of my friends really loved it, because I think 3 of us, or 4 of us were there. But yeah, that's Blu-ray Billy's questions. Thank you for the questions. And then Blu-ray Betty asks, which part of the UK do you live in? Well, I live in Scotland, and I live in a village in Scotland. It's called Stonehouse. You can probably look it up in Google Maps or something. It's not a huge place. I live in a place, it's called Stonehouse. I don't go to school here. They don't have a high school here. I live in a town nearby. I go to high school in a town nearby called Straven. So, yeah, so that's where I live. Stonehouse, and a place called Stonehouse in Scotland. What was your favourite and least favourite school subject? Well, because I'm in 5th year now at school, I pretty much dropped all the subjects that I hated. But I guess my favourite would be history. I'm down to 5 subjects now. History, biology, art, maths and English. History's probably my favourite, because we have 2 teachers, and one of the teachers is probably the best teacher in the school. He's pretty awesome. Least favourite's probably art, because we're not doing much right now. It'll probably improve but after the summer holidays, but we're doing absolutely nothing. Well, sometimes that's a good thing, but in this case, he's making us do work, but it's completely pointless. So, yeah, art's probably my least favourite right now. What do you want to be when you're older? A filmmaker. Top 3 animation films. I could say the Toy Story trilogy, but that's kind of cheating. So I'll go the Toy Story movies, Beauty and the Beast, and then Finding Nemo. But really, the Toy Story trilogy. Top 3 sci-fi films. Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back, the 2nd Star Wars movie, or the 5th, depends how you look at it, and Aliens. Does that count? It's kind of an action movie as well, but Aliens. Are you a gamer? And if so, what are your favourite games? I'm not really a gamer. I wouldn't say I like video games, but I wouldn't say I'm a gamer. But I mean, probably one of my favourite video games is Red Dead Redemption. I played that game. To me, that video game, I looked at it, I thought, this is what when video games are like this, they can put any movie to shame or anything like that. When video games are this good, Red Dead Redemption, or the Uncharted games and whatnot, they really like movies, the Uncharted games. They're amazing. So yeah, I would say Red Dead Redemption was that game I looked at and just adored. And then, if you could have any superpower, what would it be? Professor X's powers. I could go into all that, but if you know who Professor X is, I'd probably go with that. So, that's basically everything. I really appreciate the questions, by the way. Thank you for your questions, everyone. So, yeah, that's it. I really hope you enjoyed the video. I'll be back with more videos soon. And thanks for watching. Bye. And also, by the way, before I forget, if you're interested in the 24-hour movie marathon, let me know in the comments below. But that's it now. So I hope you enjoyed the video, guys, and good.